Saw Sam Marazo walking on crutches. Is he down for a while?
Yeah, a couple days. I don't know if it's a couple days or a couple weeks, but nothing long term. So.
Is there what was the injury?
He hurt his leg.
Okay. How's the depth at that position?
Good so far. We've only sustained one injury in the O-line, and Sam will be back. So besides that, everybody that came to campus here, so depth is good.
How nice is it to go into a season with a guy like J.J. Molson? You know what you got, you know the dependability and accuracy.
Yeah, I mean, you feel confident at that position because you got a really good returning player, and if you see J.J.'s work ethic and how he approaches kicking, you feel real confident.
The increased familiarity the second time around, does that allow the team to go at a faster pace if you want to, and tempo-wise?
It does. You know, I think our kids have a better understanding of what we're trying to get accomplished on both sides of the ball. So, you know, defense gets lined up faster, offense gets lined up faster. So, that can be a weapon for you if that's what you choose to do.
What have you seen from some of the younger offensive linemen, including the true freshmen who came here and the guys who were returning?
They're all working extremely hard, and right now we're just rolling groups. So in every team situation, we're playing 3 full groups, so everybody's getting reps. And, they're getting a lot of quality tape on work. They're very good learners, so they're obviously going to make mistakes, and that's what this process is all about. But that's how you learn, you know, from the mistakes you made, and then, you know, we get a chance to correct them through on-field work and then film work at night. So the whole group's been really good.
Like Baraka Beckett, could you see him getting some playing time this year?
We haven't talked about playing time. Again, like I talked about, you asked me the question the other day about Sean Ryan. Baraka Beckett's competing against himself right now. So. But Baraka is 1,000% better than he was last year, which is a credit to him for the amount of time and work he's put in to prepare for this season. So we're excited about Baraka.
You just had another eight-clap eight. What's been your assessment of that success and the impact it's had with recruiting?
I think it's been really good because you guys keep talking about it, so it's working.
When do you start preparing for Cincinnati?
Probably about 10 days out. I mean, we have as a staff and have broken down every game from last year, probably the same as Cincinnati has. So, you know, we've had discussions as a staff about game planning and things like that. But we start to get closer to, right now it's just we're going against our defense is going against us. But we'll start in earnest probably, you know, 8 to 10 days out.
How important is last year's tape?
It's always important when you have a game where they've played you and you've played them. You know, the unknowns. Sometimes when you're playing an opponent for the first time, you're not sure. But still, they're going to have some new players, and I'm sure they'll have some tweaks in their schemes, depending on who the new players they've brought in are. So it's helpful though when you play a team. Just like if we play Arizona again, we'll look at our game against Arizona last year because Kevin Sumlin's still there. So it's the same concept when you're playing a team that you played the year before.
Any update on the yellow jersey guys out here? Any update on Josh Kelly?
Well, if they're in a yellow jersey, then they're not full go. So that's the update. So if you look around and see who's in yellow, then they're not full go right now.
Do you feel like Josh Kelly is progressing toward not being in a yellow jersey?
They all are progressing to not being in a yellow jersey because if not, they would be out. So they're not out. So they're all working really hard, and I don't anticipate any problems with any of them.
Go ahead.
What impact do you see Jalen Irwin having on this offense?
He's still learning. You know, I think the fact that we could get Jalen in here for the spring was huge for him and for us, so we got a chance to kind of lay the groundwork with him, and you know, you can see what a different player he is in this camp compared to when he was in the spring because he was still learning the process. So I think hopefully he'll be able to lend some depth to that position. You know, it was the reason we brought him in here. We didn't bring him in here to not play. So, but he's done everything we've asked him to do so far. So, you know, we'll continue to see how he grows here during camp.
What does he bring besides speed?
He brings everything. He's got a great route runner, get a great change of direction, gets in and out of cuts. He's a very competitive player. Really wants to be good. You know, he brings a kind of an energy and a juice to that position. So I think, you know, he has the total package as a receiver. It's just a matter of him being very, very comfortable in terms of what we're doing. But we've been happy with him so far. So.
What kind of development have you seen from Chase Cota and Kyle Phillips, probably, let's say, in the last year or so?
Well, it would have to be the last year because they've only been here for a year. So they've all grown. You know, it's the same with the whole group. There's a familiarity with them. So this isn't the first time they're doing something. So both those guys have got great work ethics and have really embraced what we're trying to get accomplished here. And you know, you can tell that they're not freshmen anymore. That our older wily veterans. They're helping out the younger guys at their position. But I've seen great strides out of both Kyle and Chase.
Speaking of the young guys, Charles Joko and Kane Madrano.
Yeah, two big receivers. Charles is 6'4", about 215, and Kane is actually 215 himself, just a little shorter at 6'2", but both two physical receivers that have adapted well here in the first week or so. So, we'll kind of see how it shakes out here as we get closer towards Cincinnati.
When you think about recruiting, how important is the bump you would get from a really good season this year?
That's an easy question. It's always huge. I don't think people, if you lose, there's ramifications to it. If you win, there's a bump to it. So that's kind of understood. So if you have a really good season, then that helps you in recruiting. No question.
Good.
All right, guys. Thanks.